Ever wonder what it feels like to cook the way your great-grandmother did? No boxes, no microwaves, just real ingredients, real slow, and a whole lot of love. Today, we're stepping inside the warm, creaky kitchen of Amish-inspired homestead living. From sunrise dough making to smokehouse secrets, this is cooking from scratch the way it used to be, and maybe the way it still should be. So kick off your shoes, let that kettle simmer, and welcome to the world of slow, soulful food. This is Rustic Pantry. Morning starts with dough and coffee. The rooster ain't even crowed yet, and the kitchen's already alive. She's up, apron on. The old enamel kettle rattles gentle on the stovetop, and the smell of coffee creeps across the cold wooden floor. No machines, no timers, just her hands, the dough, and the rhythm she learned from her mother. Maybe her grandmother too. She scoops flour with a dented tin cup, adds lard with a butter knife, water she measured by feel. Not exact, but it always works. Her hands move fast, quiet, sure. In the corner, the bread rises slow under a towel that smells faintly like sunshine and old lavender. She sips her coffee and watches the dough grow. That's breakfast. Not yet baked, not yet ready, but almost. Supper's not a rush. It's a ritual. You don't just make dinner on a homestead. Nah, it builds up through the day. Starts in the garden, ends on the table. Sometimes even the night before. They soak the beans overnight. Chop the onions after breakfast. Maybe meat's still thawing from the ice house. Or a chicken's being plucked behind the barn. Slow. Intentional. There's always a pot simmering. Something cooking. Kitchen smells like it's hugging you. Garlic. Broth. Maybe something sweet on the windowsill too. And when supper's finally ready, you don't eat and run. You sit, pass the bowls around, tell stories, hold hands, say thanks. It's not just food, it's memory, routine, a way of life that don't feel old-fashioned when it's yours. Smokehouse whispers and pickle jars. Out back, behind the main house, is where the secrets live. Smoke curls from the old shack roof. Sweet, sharp, smells like hickory and hard work. They hang hams there. Bacon too. Maybe some venison when the season's good. He salts it all himself. Been doing it since he was a boy. Learned it from his uncle, who learned it from someone way back. Inside, she's lining up jars. Pickles, peaches, green beans packed tight, each one sealed with a pop and dated by hand. No fancy labels, just pencil marks and trust. Those shelves? That's survival, and pride, and love. In that dark pantry, with all them jars lined up, feels rich, like I'll never go hungry. Rainy days mean pie crust and stories. When a rain taps soft on the roof, it's time for pie. Always has been. She pulls out the old mixing bowl, the one with the chip on the rim, and starts cutting cold butter into flour. Kids gather, curious. They know what's coming. Apples from last fall's harvest, peeled quick with practiced hands. Sugar, spice, maybe some nutmeg if they're feeling fancy. The crust rolls out uneven. Not perfect, but flaky. Real. She hums something low, a hymn maybe, while the oven warms the whole house. Rain keeps falling, and they sit at the table, warm, close, waiting. Smells like heaven. Feels like home. Wood stove heat and simmering patience. That old wood stove ain't just for heating. It's the soul of the house. It cooks everything, all day long, even in summer, when the windows are open and the flies buzz lazy in the kitchen. The kettle's always hot. There's always something simmering, stew, broth, cider. You gotta learn to cook slow on that kind of stove. No knobs, no dials, just fire. Sometimes too hot, sometimes too low, but they figure it out. Adjust the pot, add a log, wait. Patience becomes second nature. You stir more, taste more, pay attention. Meals become a rhythm, not a recipe, and it all tastes better for it. Chicken feed and cracked eggs. The eggs don't come from the store. They come from the coop, still warm, sometimes with feathers stuck on. She wipes them clean and lines them up on the windowsill. No fridge needed, just cool air and care. Breakfast starts with those eggs. Maybe some sausage he made last fall. Fried potatoes from the root cellar. They feed the chickens first, then themselves. That's how it goes. Fair, balanced. Sometimes the yolks break when they crack them. Doesn't matter. It's not about perfection. It's about real food, real effort, real life. And somehow, that breakfast tastes like it means something. Grits, butter, and barefoot mornings. She don't use a microwave. Doesn't own one. Instead, it's a pot of grits on the back burner, stirred with a wooden spoon. Butter melting on top. Maybe a drizzle of molasses if they got some left. The floor's cold, but she don't mind. She's barefoot, apron tied up in the back, humming something that ain't got words. The kids are still sleepy, rubbing their eyes, drawn by the smell. Breakfast isn't rushed. It never is. They sit around the table, slow, quiet. Eat together. Start the day right. Simple food, real food, cooked with love and steam and old recipes that never needed measuring cups. Butter churn and buttermilk pancakes. You ever churn butter by hand? It ain't quick, but it's beautiful. Takes muscle, takes rhythm. They pour the cream in and crank the handle. Sometimes for half an hour, maybe longer. Then it comes together all at once. Clumps of golden butter floating in pale buttermilk. They strain it, salt it, shape it with wooden paddles. That butter goes on everything, especially pancakes, made from scratch, with eggs from the coop and milk from the cow. You don't need syrup when the butter tastes that good. The kids always beg for extra. She gives it to them, grinning. She knows they'll remember this. Sundays smell like roasted chicken. Sunday's different. Always has been. Church in the morning. Big meal in the afternoon. That chicken's been roasting slow since before they left. Stuffed with herbs from the garden. Potatoes cooked in the same pan, soaking up all that flavor. Maybe some fresh rolls, baked golden in the oven. Apple pie cooling on the counter. No one's in a rush. No one's checking phones. They gather, pass plates, laugh. Say grace. The food tastes better because of the silence before it, the work behind it, the hands that made it. Afterward, they sit, full-bellied. Content, nothing fancy, just enough, more than enough. Cooking like this changes you. You don't just cook different, you become different. When you slow down, when you grow your own food, when you learn to make your own meals from scratch without boxes, packets, or shortcuts. You notice things, smells, textures, seasons. You plan ahead. Waste less. You don't eat fast food. Don't crave it. Because what you got, it's better. Homemade. Honest. It feeds more than your body. It feeds your soul. Like the Amish. Like the old ways. Like the quiet kind of living that don't shout, but lingers. And if you stick with it, one day, without realizing it, you'll look around your kitchen and it'll feel like home. Real home. The kind they used to write about. That's the magic of homestead cooking. It ain't flashy. It ain't quick. But it fills more than just your belly. It fills your life with meaning. If you felt even a flicker of warmth from today's journey through flour-dusted countertops and simmering pots, go on and hit that subscribe button. There's plenty more where this came from. Here at Rustic Pantry, we don't just cook food. We carry on tradition, one handmade meal at a time. See you next time, neighbor.